the reversal of type 2 diabetes. Is it possible? 100% yes. Should you stop your medications? No. As your levels come down, your doctor will stop your medications for you. The first thing that we're going to talk about today, based on hundreds and hundreds of patients that we've treated over the years, and they have complete reversals of type 2 diabetes. The first thing is a mindset change. You need to believe it's possible. If you ask me the same question about type 1 diabetes, I would say it's not possible. That's an autoimmune condition, completely different. Can you make a type 1 diabetes better? Absolutely yes. We've had people who have gone through massive amounts of insulin to the most minimum amount of insulin as they improve their overall condition. Your mindset change. If you're in a mind frame that you're still blaming your parents and genes that, oh, but my dad had diabetes, my mom had diabetes. Of course, genes play a role, but in type 2 diabetes, it is mostly your lifestyle. And even if your parents had it and your grandparents had it, by changing your lifestyle, you have the ability to, if not reverse it completely, bring down your medication to the bare minimum. And we've seen that happen. I'm going to explain to you exactly what we can do today. So first, mindset change. Too many of us love to blame our genes, and then that just takes off the responsibility of doing the things that we should be doing. Number one, never get off your medication. You can make it worse. You can damage your kidneys. You can damage your heart if you have uncontrolled blood sugar levels. There's a way of doing it. The game is patience. It can take you 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, but you got to do it the right way. As your blood sugar levels come down, your doctor will obviously reduce your medication, because if he or she doesn't do that, you will go to hypoglycemia, which can be deadly and even fatal for you. Number one, let's get straight into nutrition. The secret is carbohydrates. Does this mean you should go off carbohydrates? Absolutely not. But you got to be smart about your carbohydrates. Right now, for the next 10 days, if you have type 2 diabetes, and from now onwards, if you look at your plate, and the least portion is your carbohydrates, and you have more complex vegetables, like your crucifers or whatever your veggies are, and you have more protein on your plate, and you do this consistently for 10 days, you are going to find your blood sugar levels start to drop just by this one minor change. All right? Now, your quality carbs. If you take more quality carbs, like your sweet potato, over your quinoas, over your white flour, your wheat flour, you're going to see a direct change. Your quality of carbs matter. It's not the carbs, it's the quality of carbs that matter. Every one of our reversals of type 2 diabetes, none of them did a keto diet because they didn't want to, and none of them went on an extremely low-carb diet where they were frustrated, angry, irritated, and feeling hungry all the time. As you do, keep carbs the lowest on your plate. By increasing your veggies, you'll also increase your fiber. By increasing your protein, you will increase the satiety factor and not feel hungry. Portion control is extremely important. If you overeat, you have a problem with your blood sugar levels. If you eat exactly how much you need to eat, you will start to see a dramatic change in your blood sugar levels. Number two, the time that you eat. If you are eating late night meals, you are not allowing your body to metabolically heal you. For the next 10 days, bring your dinners down to maybe 6, 6:30, 7, whatever works for you. But your dinners should come down earlier, and you should have at least 3 to 3.5 hour gap between your last meal and your bedtime. And you say, but Luke, I get hungry. Eat a bigger dinner. But the point is, this is the discipline you need to build if you want to get off your diabetic medication. Number three, a lot of you would have noticed that you're putting on weight, or because you put on weight, you have type 2 diabetes. Unfortunately, when you're taking a lot of diabetic medication and insulin, it becomes difficult to lose weight. Because the more insulin you take, the more chances your body fat is going to go higher and higher. Now, let me share something motivating with you. Mounjaro and Ozempic, how does it work? How does it help you reverse your diabetes, bring down your blood pressure, reduce your weight? Simple. Never forget, it's not a magic drug. It cuts down your appetite, your hunger. And because you eat less, you're in a calorie deficit. And because you're in a calorie deficit, you lose weight. Never ever forget that fundamental. So, hey, if you automatically get into a calorie deficit by, taking 1 spoon less of food or 2 spoons less of food at each meal, that's 3 times in a day multiplied by 10 times in a week. you would have already started to lose weight because you're in a calorie deficit. These are the simple fundamentals if you do not want to be on these drugs and you want to start losing weight, which in turn will help you start bringing down your blood sugar levels. So when you look at your plate, period, your carbs are the least. Your complex carbs are more. Your veggies, your protein is more. And of course, you cook in your good fat medium. Number 2, if you can establish a fast of 12 hours minimum, if you're not hungry in 13 hours, then 13 hours. If you're not hungry in 14 hours, 14 hours. Every day, your body can be different for you. Start off with a minimum 12-hour fast and a 12-hour feeding window. For some of you, it could be 9 hours. Some of you, it could be 14 hours. It doesn't matter. But try to maintain the same cycle every day. Now, you would be waiting for, Luke, what are those magic foods to reduce my blood sugar levels? There are so many. You have apple cider vinegar, you have jamun vinegar, you have more fiber. But hey, this reduces your blood sugar levels for a little bit and it'll spike up again later when you eat your next meal. So they're not magic. The magic is how much you eat and what time you eat. 3, of course, if you're eating more outside food, more desserts, I don't have to explain that further. It's not good for you, whether you have diabetes or whether you don't. So cut that down. The challenge I want to give all of you is if you have type 2 diabetes, take 7 days, just 7 days, and commit to it. Everything I'm saying. And you will be so impressed with the change in your blood sugar levels, that will be your motivation and inspiration to do another 7 days. And then another 7 days. And then you can start getting a little bit more liberal with yourself. Let's move straight to exercise. Muscle, muscle, muscle. You don't want to go to a gym? That's okay. Use your body weight. Start challenging muscle. Muscle is your endocrine metabolic organ. You know, a lot of your blood sugar can get uptaken in your muscle if you use it the right way. That's why I always tell people, walk 10 minutes after your meal. It is so important to create movement so that your calf muscles have the highest uptake of blood glucose directly, unlike other muscles, your calf muscles. And that's why if you've been following my content, I taught everyone to do something called a soleus push-up. A soleus push-up is done when you sit 30 minutes after your meal and you just raise your legs. You may want to see the video for that, or we'll post it in the comments maybe tomorrow. But if you go onto my page, you'll see the demonstration of doing a soleus push-up. It is so powerful. You can do it on a flight, at your office, at home, 30 minutes after a meal, and you will see a dramatic change in your blood sugar levels. Besides that, you can swim, you can jog, you can run, but you must train muscle. The more muscle, let me give you an example of 2 people, person A and person B. Person A has more muscle than person B. Person A and person B have a large slice of chocolate cake. Person A, blood sugar levels will regulate way faster because person A has more muscle that can have more uptake of blood glucose. But person B, who has more fat and less muscle, where's the blood sugar going to go? In the blood. No uptake to muscle because you have less muscle. Remember, one of the fundamentals of type 2 diabetes is insulin resistance. You're eating your food, your blood sugar levels are rising, your pancreas are working, producing insulin. Insulin is knocking at the cell doors. Open up, open up. I want to push blood sugar into the cells, get it out of the blood. But in type 2 diabetes, your cells cannot hear the knock of insulin. They don't respond to the knock because of something called inflammation. So the blood sugar stays in your blood. You have spikes and spikes and spikes. And then these spikes further cause inflammation of your blood cells, making type 2 diabetes worse. So when you're looking at type 2 diabetes, you've got to look at anti-inflammatory foods. You've got to knock out ultra-processed and junk, which is the easiest way to create inflammation in your cells, period. For the next 10 days, knock out junk and processed and outside food for 10 days, and only by doing that, you will start to see your blood sugar levels change. Chew your food. The slower you eat, the better the mechanism of insulin, digestion, and everything else. So I want you to have a holistic workout program where you're training muscle, you're walking, you're swimming, you're doing a mix of everything. The more muscle you build, the better your blood sugar levels. Sleep, it's a no-brainer. If you're sleep deprived, that's a beautiful way of creating inflammation in your body. So I want you to work on your sleep. We've done a ton of videos for that. And then stress. I said, but Luke, what can stress do? Your chronic stress, not day-to-day stress, chronic stress has a direct correlation with an increase in blood sugar levels and inflammation. It's simple. Eat your next meal stressed out and watch your blood sugar levels skyrocket. Take a healthy meal and eat it stressed, and you'll see the impact in your blood sugar levels. So these are things that you need to work on, whether you meditate, you learn to accept, let go, whatever it is. You get a counselor, sleep, all of this. There's enough of information on my channel for that. I am focusing mainly today on nutrition and the need to build muscle. So if you're ready to make that change, don't stop your medication. In fact, most people by day 5 will start to feel that my medication's a little bit too much because now it's dropping my blood sugar levels a little too low. That's when you pick up the phone and you go to your doctor, and your doctor starts to reduce your medication. You need to try this to realize how powerful your body is to heal your type 2 diabetes. All of us are chasing shortcuts and berberines and this, and do all of that. I don't have a problem with you. It's a shortcut. It's not going to heal you in the long run. What is going to heal you in the long run and reverse your type 2 diabetes is making these changes that we just discussed. So I'm not asking you to stay hungry. When you reduce your carbs, you increase your protein, you increase your veggies, you increase your fiber. It's so important for you to increase your fiber from your vegetable sources, your psyllium husk, or whatever it is that suits you. Now, of course, some people, they have things over the diabetes. They have autoimmune conditions, they have other inflammatory conditions, they have thyroid. That's when it gets more complicated. You got to break it down, and that's what we do with these people. For everyone else, this is your starting point. There's no magic turmeric that will reverse your type 2 diabetes. No, but turmeric will indirectly reduce inflammation, which will reduce the way your cells are behaving with insulin. This is all you have to do. Sounds too easy, right? The reason I want you to commit to it for 7 to 10 days is because when you start seeing your blood sugar levels falling, you will start to get hope that, hey, I can live without type 2 diabetes and its medication. Will it recover? Will it require consistency? Of course. A little bit of discipline? Of course. These actions that I've shared with you? Of course. It will. Maybe too many of our minds have been spoiled for shortcuts and trends and fads, but hey, if they worked, we wouldn't be having this call. We wouldn't be doing this video today. But no shortcut ever works. No trend or fad diet ever works. It is only the action with a little bit of consistency, a little bit of discipline. You fail, get back on track. You fail again, you get back on track, period. The world will sell you Mounjaro or Ozempic. I don't have a problem with these drugs. They're great for my clients who are 150 kilos, 130 kilos. It's life-saving because it can help them reduce all that weight, and then their high blood pressure, everything changes. But for the people who are misusing it for 5 kilos, 10 kilos, 11 kilos, we know all those patients. They've done Mounjaro, Ozempic, lost that weight, put it all back on again because they did not learn to change behavior and action around food, sleep, exercise, and emotional wellness. And after a while, your doctor says, hey, Luke, I can't give you Mounjaro anymore. I'm sorry. I can't give you Ozempic anymore. Then what do? You go into depression because, oh no, I lost that weight. Everyone complimented me. Now I'm putting it back on. My doctor's not giving me a drug. Everything is a trap. If you're using medication, use it the right way. But never ever fool yourself that there is a shortcut out there that can work for you without you putting in the work, without you making lifestyle and behavioral changes. And that's how easy it is when it comes to type 2 diabetes. Now, like I said, there are some people who have complications. They have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, kidney issues. We have to break down those cases individually. For everyone else, this is how you're going to do it. And how do I know? Why do I speak to you with conviction? Because these are all the hundreds and hundreds of, actually thousands of cases that are now reversed using the same principle I just shared with you. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you.